So there is a Google will switch to its prompt system as the default 2FA offering, and I guess in layman's terms, this means that there's going to be push notifications coming out to anything Google related. Um, so, for those unfamiliar with the Google prompt, it's a security feature that sends a notification to a smartphone that you're currently signed into with your Google account to approve a sign in on another device. For example, if you try to sign in to Google on your laptop, your smartphone will prompt you to the yes to allow that login attempt. I have noticed, which I like this feature
I like this
personally.
feature a lot.
I've had very
Yep.
random on my cell phone says you are being logged in off of Firefox in New Jersey, and I live in
Hmm.
California.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, I'm sitting
Yep.
here in California watching TV right now, comfort my home. So no. So then, I know you talked about the puned. Have you been puned?
Yeah. Have you been pwned?
Pwned, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
So
good website.
they
Definitely.
try to hack your stuff, and when I saw that, I'm like, that's interesting, and I could see their IP address. I'm like, you are not that smart.
Well, I've seen it a lot with like Singapore and other places like that. And I like it because immediately you know that's not you. So
Oh
what do you
yeah,
have to do? You know what I mean? You know what you need to do. You need to go change your passwords.
for sure. Now it says here, Google plans to migrate all eligible Google accounts to its prompt system starting July 7th. So depending on when you're watching this is going to be after that date. So if you've noticed that you're getting some weird, make sure you prompt yes or you're signed into this. Or it's gonna, like, I'm guessing everything's gonna just start popping up out all of a sudden when they flip this on, or if
Yeah.
it's already on, you might not even have to worry about it.
Right.
So that means if you currently use SMS based 2FA to secure your Google account, and that the 2FA is the
Factor authentication.
two-factor authentication. Thank you. To secure your Google account, that's going to change. However, Google will still offer this, and users can manually switch to these messages on your myaccount.google.com on that page under the security tab. Additionally, users who already use this feature won't be changed over since physically security keys offer even more protection. Also, on July 7th, Google plans to start pushing these security prompts to all signed in devices. A frustrating change from the current system, which allows you to control which phones receive the prompts. While the change to sending prompts
Oh.
to all phones may prove annoying, overall, Google will likely improve the security of users' accounts by moving them away from SMS based 2FA. It's worth noting that while the process will begin July 7th, it may take as long as 15 days to roll out for everyone.
So just so everybody's on the same page, SMS based security is when they actually send you a text message. That's SMS, right? What they were saying at the end of that article is that when they make this switch, it's going to go to every cell phone device that's registered to your Google account. So I can see where it's going to get a little frustrating, right? Because you could use the same Google account on your kid's phone and your phone, and your kid's going to start getting all these prompts now and maybe allow something or say okay and not tell you or whatever. So it could be a little bit confusing. That's why we're kind of bringing this news out to you guys so that you guys have this information. If you start getting all these prompts on all your devices, that you have all the information and you don't get too worried, right? I kind of look at this a little bit like an Amber Alert. You guys have Amber Alerts out there in the
Oh yeah,
States, right?
definitely.
So, when Amber Alerts first started happening here, I mean, even still now, people will call 911 saying, turn off these notifications. And we're like, these are good notifications. Stop complaining. Stop wasting taxpayer dollars and calling 911 for something that's not an emergency, right?
Yeah.
So don't get frustrated. Understand this is for your benefit, and it's a really good feature to have, right? It's protecting your safety, your security, all that kind of good stuff.
It's a great feature when they add stuff like this. They really don't have to. And when it's almost like, with us being in the tech industry, we buy a laptop, we buy a desktop, we want to have a really good security system. We want to have a good malware, anti-software, like that type of stuff to make sure we're protected.
Mhm.
We've also had conversations about VPNs, about protecting your IP address and stuff like that. I always look at this stuff as lock and key. You have a lock and key for your house.
Mhm.
Every time you leave your house, you lock it up, and if you're fortunate enough to have an alarm system, then you turn that bad boy on and make sure all your prize possessions or your goodies, whatever you have inside the house,
Yeah.
is protected. And I think for them to say, hey, we're going to give you something free of charge, we're going to add all these extra things
Features.
so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, all these features. I think this is an amazing thing that Google's doing. They're telling, for what this tells me is that they care for whatever devices I have, especially if it's coming from Google, that they care for my protection, my security protections.
Protection for sure. It's the same way like when you were mentioning your home security, right? If there's anything that your home security is like iffy about, what does it do? It sends you a notification,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like, hey, I don't know what this is. Maybe you do, but you're gonna have to deal with it, not me.
Yeah.